Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol TTOO. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out where levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. This chart, I will say, is pretty sketchy looking, and I mean, it made a great move, sure, but then it pulled back, and it was a pretty big pullback, but it wasn't quite a crash, but it was a deep pullback. So is this chart bullish? Is this chart bearish? If that's kind of how you're feeling, I don't blame you, because this is definitely a pretty crazy chart and a pretty sketchy chart. But in my mind, there's a single level that we can kind of help use to help us manage and kind of gauge whether or not this is a bullish or bearish chart going forward. And that is right down here around the 405 mark. Why is 405 important? Well, let's look at a couple different scenarios. No, I'm not saying this is what's going to occur, but one scenario, let's say that the price just continues to pull back, gets down to the 405 mark, breaks through it, and then just continues on down. At that point in time, what would you have? You would literally have the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out from. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they started, not exactly a sign of true strength. And in fact, that would essentially put this at pump and dump level status. Now, I'm not saying that towards the company. I don't know anything about the company. I'm saying that based on how the price is acted. So from a price action perspective, think about that, what that would be giving. That would be saying that the price made this awesome move up here, and then within the time span of just a few days, the price is right back to where it started. If that's not a pump and dump, I don't know what is. Now, again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, because to be fair, maybe the price comes down here, behaves in that manner, and then starts to work its way back upwards. What would you have in this scenario? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have those lows right there. If you envision each of those as stair steps, well, hey, now you have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And progress is what bullish movements make. So in many ways, this 405 is kind of acting as a vocabulary definer, meaning is the price going back, quote unquote, that being associated with bearishness, or is the price, quote unquote, making progress, that associated with bullishness. So 405, definitely a very important level, not only tomorrow on Friday, but just next week too. So let's see if the price can stay above it or not.
One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.